This is Paul Newman, and if you are seeing this screen, I am hoping to assure you here. Hello everybody, and welcome back to another video. Thank you very much for taking the time to join me today. As always, it is very much appreciated this Friday evening. We're about 4 hours away from the first classic of the weekend, the Kentucky Oaks, held at Churchill Downs. So what better time is there to take a look at a classic watch possible 26 that is based in the US of A. But before we get on to the classic watch 26 stuff, I always like to mention my own Patreon channel in these videos, Newman Racing it's called. Why not head over there? It might be for you, you know, that's especially if you're a fan of National Hunt Racing, because a lot of the National Hunt Racing has now gone over to the Patreon channel. Also, that's the place where all the yearly reviews take place as well. For instance, I might be following 33-year-olds 1 year, and then next year that list will become, say, 10 or 11 4-year-olds. That's some are more exposed than others, some fall short. It's just a way of trimming down the numbers and making way for new horses every year. You'll see them on Patreon as well. There's an opportunity to support me over on Patreon if you wish to, but it's in no way compulsory. Plenty of resources over there as well have been uploaded by me over the years, spreadsheets and things like that people might find useful. So yeah, I do suggest you head over there. There's plenty of free stuff as well, plenty of paid stuff as well. So a bit of a mishmash really, a bit for everybody. So yeah, it'd be definitely rude of me not to mention it in these videos, because I find it helpful and I make it, you know. So I think there is something there for people. Why not go and head over there and have a look? Right, let's get on to the Classic Watch stuff then, shall we? ClassicWatch26.great/site.net is where this year's edition of Classic Watch can be found. Currently, still only the 4 theatres: New Zealand, Australia, South Africa and Japan. But as I keep saying, there's plenty of classics coming this week, which might mean that there might be plenty more theatres to come, such as USA, the UK and Ireland, I would say, would be almost certainly starting. So it's fair to say that the Roll of Honour will probably look a little bit different in a week or so's time than what it does now, basically as we add more and more horses on to the list. I update the Roll of Honour as well with the Southern Hemisphere horses around August, September time, and at the end of the calendar year, December time, we can update the rest as well. Basically, once they've all had their 3-year-old campaign and their 3-year-old campaigns are finished, then I do try and upload to get some sort of a definitive Roll of Honour at the end of their 3-year-old campaign. So yeah, ClassicWatch26.great/site.net is the place for Classic Watch 26, and you might well find this horse on it. Further Ado is the name of the horse, a colt sired by Gunrunner out of a dam called Sky Dreamer, who herself is sired by one ex-stallion, Sky Messer. Further Ado, trained by Brad Cox and owned by Spendthrift Farms LLC, bred by John C. Oxley and ridden for the majority of his starts, including the next one, by John Velasquez. People will see that if they look on the racing post, they check here, they'll be able to see here as well, that the horse is in fact entered in the Kentucky Derby tomorrow, Saturday night, around just before midnight on the 2nd of May 2026. Horse has got interesting form. The horse has had 6 runs and has finished out of the first 3, only once in his life. 3 firsts, 1 second and 1 third, for total earnings of $1,146,328 American dollars. So this horse is already pretty solid, it's fair to say. The horse actually took 3 times to get off the mark. It was 5th first time out in a maiden special race at Saratoga, and then in the 8th month of the year it came out again and finished 3rd at Saratoga in another maiden special race. And then on the 10th of October, the horse finally got its head in front when winning a maiden special weight race at Keeneland. The horse followed that up on the 29th of November 2025 with his first pattern race victory in the Group 2 Kentucky Jockey Club Stakes at Churchill Downs, which could set him in good stead for this race. And the horse has come back in fine fettle this year, chasing home a Classic Watch 26 Possible Silent Tactic, I think it was, in the Grade 3 Tampa Bay Derby at Tampa Bay on the 7th of March 2026, and then leaving that form behind when winning at the Group 1 level, the top level, when winning the Bluegrass Stakes, a race held at Keeneland on the 4th of April. So this horse is already a Group 1 winner at 3 and a Group 2 winner at 2. You know, this horse brings some pretty good form to the table, it's fair to say, even at this early stage. I know some people like to take a look at these things on the Racing Post, so we can do that now. And you'll see that 4 of Further Ado's 5 runs have actually made it to the Racing Post. Just the result when he was 5th is that on his debut is the only race that has not made it. You'll see John Velasquez is booked to ride at Churchill if the horse takes his chance. And you'll see the horse has been running quite well. The horse was allocated a mark of 101 when it beat Universe by 1 3/4 lengths to win the Group 2 at Churchill Downs last season on the 29th of November, the Jockey Club Stakes. And then the horse, it was the Puma that beat it, Classic Watcher 26 Possible, the Puma, won the Tampa Bay Derby, beating Further Ado by 3/4 of a length that day. But Further Ado did raise his best mark to 108. The horse improved again to a Racing Post rating of 117 when beating Otinio by 11 lengths to win the Bluegrass Stakes in a fantastic performance at Keeneland, a race we will take a look at some point in this video. So you'll see this horse of 117 is some significantly higher than some of the other horses that we've looked at for this race, it's fair to say. That's why he's quite relatively fancied for the race. People can take a look at the horse on the Pedigree online thoroughbred database, and you'll see for a classic horse they're currently all over this one. 6 starts, 3 wins, a second and a third. Nothing wrong at all. $1,146,328, like we said. The dam line for this horse, what we're interested here in this video, is 19B. That's what we'll be taking a look at, this little section. You'll see there that the Bluegrass Stakes and the Tampa Bay Derby result is on there, as well as the Kentucky Jockey Club. So they're going quite well. This horse sold for $550,000 at the spring sale of 2-year-olds in training in 2025 as well. We can look at that on Equibase. I keep forgetting to do that because it's not natural for me to look at it, because I know on the other side you have to pay to see it. So it's not natural for me to go there and look at it. But yeah, Further Ado, interesting horse. What we're going to do is we're going to have a look at the pedigree all the way back to the 5th dam of the horse, who was born in 1966. We're going to see what horses we can find along the way that are interesting from then and around that time up to the current date. And then we're going to watch the horse Further Ado win 2 pattern races. We're going to watch the horse win the Group 2 race as a 2-year-old, the Kentucky Jockey Club Stakes. And we're going to watch him win the Group 1 Toyota Bluegrass Stakes as well on his most recent start. So let's get cracking, shall we? We might as well. We've got to look at a horse before we even get to the first dam today. Kimbeer is the name of the horse. Horse born in 2014, sired by Temple City out of Sky Dreamer. So this horse, Kimbeer, would be a half-brother to our horse, Further Ado. Kimbeer raced 25 times in his career, 4 wins, 7 seconds and 5 thirds. 16 out of 25 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of $790,199 in his career. Good horse, Kimber. Managed to win the Group 3 Burj Nahar in the UAE in 2018. And in 2020, the horse won the Group 2 Al Maktoum Challenge, the first round, a Group 2 race. The horse was also third at 7 in the 2021 Firebreak Stakes, a Group 3 race at Maidan. And in the USA, the horse was managed to place second in the Group 3 Lazaro Barrera Stakes of 2017, a race held at Santa Anita. Yeah, this horse, Group 2 and Group 3 winner out in Maidan. No Group 1 form, but yeah, solid horse. Raced in the USA and the UAE. Bred by John C. Oxley and owned by Sheikh Rashid bin Humaid Al Naimi. Very good horse. We can take a look at the dam of our horse now, Sky Dreamer, a mare born in 2009, sired by Sky Messer, out of a dam called To Dream About, who was born in 2004 and sired by Monarchos. Sky Dreamer raced 12 times in her career, 2 wins, 4 seconds and 2/3, 8 out of 12 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of $176,065 American dollars in her career. She wasn't a bad horse in her own right. She was placed second in the Group 3 Arlington Oaks of 2012, and she was also second in 2 stakes races, the Lalo Jeanette Stakes, and third in the Ali Wow Stakes. So this horse, Group 3 placed stakes winner out in America for owner and breeder John C. Oxley. Black type producer, as we know from looking at the 2 horses that we're looking at, Further Ado and Kimbeer. I found some horses in between the second and the third dam that are obviously of interest as well. Awesome Sky. This horse is a full brother to our dam. Awesome Sky was born in 2011, sired by Sky Mesa out of To Dream About. Awesome Sky raced 14 times in his career, 2 wins, 5 seconds and 2/3, 9 out of 14 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of $143,166 American dollars in his career. Again, he sneaked a little bit of place. He was actually third in the race Further Ado won, the Group 2 Kentucky Jockey Club Stakes, back in 2014, placed in the race for breeder John C. Oxley and the horse owned by Elliot Cameron. Dream Dancing, a mare born in 2014, sired by Tappet out of a dam called To Dream About. So this again is another half-sister to the dam of our horse. Dream Dancing raced 18 times in her career, 4 wins, 3 seconds and a third, 8 out of 18 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of $483,271 US dollars in her career. Very good horse. Dream Dancing managed to win the Group 1 2017 Del Mar Oaks. She also won the Group 3 Here Comes the Bride Stakes as well the same year at Gulfstream Park. Second in the Edgewood Stakes at Churchill Downs. And she was also fourth in the Group 3 Marshall River Stakes at 4 in 2018. Another horse bred and owned by John C. Oxley, who it's fair to say is doing a superb job with this family. You'll see there, stakes winning Dream Away is her foal, and that horse is here. Dream Away, a filly, born in 2022, sired by Flame Away, out of a dam called Dream Dancing, who we've just looked at. Dream Away to this date has raced 4 times in her career, according to this site, 2 wins, a second and a third, never out of the first 3 in her first 4 starts, for career earnings of $174,490 US dollars in her career. Interesting filly, Dream Away. At 2, she managed to win the Colleen Stakes, and she was also placed in the Limestone Stakes and the Speakeasy Stakes as well. So there's her first 4 runs. Stakes winner for owner and breeder John C. Oxley. Hasn't been updated for over a year though, I note. But an interesting horse nonetheless. Dream Maker is another one related to the first dam of our horse. A gelding, born in 2016, sired by Tappet, out of To Dream About. Dream Maker raced 14 times in his career, 3 wins and 1/3, 4 out of 14 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of $151,692 US dollars in his career. Dream Maker at 3 was placed 3rd in the Group 3 Pat Day Mile Stakes of 2019, a race held at Churchill Downs. Another one bred by John C. Oxley. This horse was owned by Gary Barber. We can now take a look at the second dam of our horse, Further Ado. To Dream About. To Dream About was born in 2004, sired by Monarchos, out of a dam called Beautiful Pleasure, who was born in 1995 and sired by Maudlin. To Dream About, the second dam of our horse, was actually unraced, so there's not really much to talk about in her racing career. I did find one horse, though, between the next two dams. Dr. Pleasure, a horse born in 2003, sired by Thunder Gulch out of Beautiful Pleasure. So this is a half-sister to the unraced second dam of our horse. Dr. Pleasure raced 26 times in his career, 4 wins, 5 seconds and 4 thirds. 13 out of 26 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of $402,470 American dollars in his career. Interesting horse. He was third in the Group 1 Travers Stakes of 2006 and placed in another 2 straight stakes races as well. But yeah, Group 1 placed horse at its best for owner and breeder John C. Oxley. The third dam of our horse, Beautiful Pleasure, a mare born in 1995, sired by Maudlin out of a dam called Beautiful Bid, who was born in 1984 and sired by Bulsky, a sire I'm not really familiar with, I must admit. Beautiful Pleasure, superb third dam of our horse, it's fair to say. 25 starts in her career, 10 wins, 5 seconds and 2 thirds. 17 out of 25 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of $2,734,078 US dollars in her career. She certainly won some races. She won the Group 1 Matron Stakes of 1997, age 2. She was also third in what is now the Group 1 Alcibiades Stakes. At 3, she was third in the Churchill Downs Distaff Handicap, a Group 2 race. But it was at 4 where she really excelled, at 4, 5 and 6. At 4, she won the Group 1 Breeders' Cup Distaff of 1999. She also won the Group 1 Beldame Stakes and the Group 1 Personal Ensign Handicap. Second in the Group 1 Hempstead Handicap as well, and the Go for One Handicap. At 5, she managed to land the Hempstead Handicap and a Personal Ensign Stakes. She also won the Group 2 Shuvie Handicap. Second in the Go for One and Beldame. And at 6, she was second in the Group 1 Personal Ensign Stakes. What a magnificent horse. 1999 champion older mare. She last raced in 2001 at Belmont Park. Broodmare in Kentucky. She was sadly euthanised on August the 11th, 2011, due to chronic laminitis. The horse bred by Farnsworth Farm and owned by John Oxley's Fawn Leap Farm. Absolutely magnificent horse, it's fair to say. And she happens to be the third dam of our Kentucky Derby candidate. Things looking good so far, it's fair to say, at the highest level. I did find another horse in between the next 2 dams, believe it or not, as well as her. Is that one of our dams, a Beautiful Pleasure? No, Beautiful Bid, sorry. Oh, yeah, Beautiful Pleasure is one of our dams. That's my mistake, sorry. The next horse we're going to take a look at is Mecky, a horse born in 1992, sired by Maudlin again, out of Beautiful Bid. So this is a full brother to the horse we've just looked at. They've only gone and done it again. Mecky raced 40 times in his career, 12 wins, 7 seconds and 9 thirds. 28 out of 40 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of $2,470,550 American dollars in his career. Very good horse, Mecky, and he proved it a lot of times. At 2, he was third in the Group 3 What a Pleasure Stakes of 1994. At 3, the horse won the Grade 1 in those days Super Derby. The horse also won the Group 3 Tropical Park Derby. Second in the Group 1 Secretariat Stakes. Second in the Group 1 Rothmans Invitational and the W.L. McKnight Handicap of Group 2. Third in the Group 1 Florida Derby and the Jim Beam Stakes of Group 2. At 4, the horse won the Group 1 Arlington Million, also won the Group 1 Turf Classic, the Group 3 Widener Handicap, the Group 3 Tropical Turf Handicap, second in the Man of War Stakes, the Group 1 at Belmont, third in the Canadian International, and at 5, the horse won another Group 3, the McDermott Handicap, and was third in the Group 1 Don Handicap. Absolutely magnificent horse for breeder Farnsworth Farms, Mike Sherman, and owners James Lewis, a Carla stud, Whispering Hill Farm at some point, all these, and Hidden Springs Farm. People will see there the horse last raced in 1997, where it entered stud at Florida, went to Tennessee in 2009, Indiana in 2012, and was suddenly euthanised in 2013 due to old age at Hidden Springs Farm. Unfortunately today, JBIS is totally down today. JBIS is down for system maintenance. So unfortunately we can't use JBIS for any stallions today. It's fair to say the site needs it. You know, it was struggling the other day when we couldn't get it at all. And then it was rocket fast the other day. So it's fairly inconsistent at the moment. So hopefully it'll be back with a lot more consistency at some point. So unfortunately we couldn't really look at Mecky's stallion career. I'd have liked to. Beautiful Bid is the third dam of our horse, born in 1984. Further Ado. No, it's not the fourth dam. My mistake. Yeah, the fourth dam of Further Ado. Third dam of our dam. Beautiful Bid was sired by Bulski out of a dam called Biddy Big, who was born in 1966 and sired by Palestinian. Beautiful Bid, another one, rather like the second dam of our horse. It was unraced, so we can't really tell you much about her. The fifth dam of the horse, Biddy Big, a mare born in 1966, sired by Palestinian out of Spooney. Again, Palestinian unraced. Spooney was foaled in 1952 and sired by Devil Diver. So yeah, we've hit a couple of unraced dams there at the end for the fourth and fifth dam of our horse. But we've got Sky Dreamer, the Group 3 placed first dam. We've got an unraced second dam. Got a world class third dam, sorry, it's fair to say. And then two unraced dams to finish off the first five dams. Very interesting horse, I do think. And it's also quite an interesting horse historically. If people look at the horse on bloodlines.net, unfortunately, they still have to go through the Wayback Machine at this stage because the site has got something called an Argo tunnel error. Doesn't look to be getting fixed either anytime soon, sadly. You know, people can see this horse is very historically sound. Look, Bimelet is the dam of Spooney. You know, and Bimelet born in 1944, sired by Bimelek. I think that's a 1X stallion, that Bimelek, I think. Very good horse. Be Faithful, you see, the next dam after that. She went on her own little mission. Look, there's a classic winner there that we're going to look at later. But more importantly, look, she's a relative of some horses that have sired some nice horses over the years. You know, so very interesting. There's this Kentucky Oaks winner of 1955 as well, Lalun, sired by Jeddah. That is sort of at the front of it all. There's Bimelek again there, the sire of Be Faithful, as well as Bimelek. So very interesting horses. Looking like Be Faithful and Bimelek are full sisters, you know. So very, very interesting horses. This stallion I found as well, No Robbery. A horse born in 1960, sired by Swaps out of a dam called Bimlets, you see. So this will be a half brother to our fifth dam. No, the sixth dam of our horse, Spooney. Bimelet is the next dam. No Robbery raced 8 times in his career, 6 wins and 1/3. 7 out of 8 starts in the first 3, 6 in the first 1, for career earnings of $82,770 US in his career. No Robbery was the winner of the 1963 Wood Memorial Stakes. He entered stud at Green Tree Stud, moved to Dearborn Farm in Kentucky, where he sadly died in 1985. Owned and bred by Green Tree Stud and owned by Green Tree Stud and Ben P. Walden. Very good horse, Wood Memorial Stakes winner. And through this site that I found, a very useful resource that stepped in at the last minute, a site called AmericanClassicPedigrees.com. I managed to find a few of these stallions on this site, so we can see we might be able to trust this when it comes to winners of stakes races. You see, that's why I looked at it. You'll see there, as a stallion, according to statistics kept by the Jockey Club, No Robbery side 318 winners and 47 stakes winners from 461 named foals. So yeah, pretty good stallion, No Robbery. 47 side stakes winners from the stallion. We can take a look now at La Lune. La Lune, a mare born in 1952, sired by Jeddah, out of Be Faithful. So we're all the way back now. If we look at Biddy Bag, you'll see Bloodroot is also the dam of Bimelette and the dam, as we know, of this horse, Be Faithful. La Lune raced 19 times in her career, 5 wins, a second and 4 thirds, 10 out of 19 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of 112,000 American dollars in her day. La Lune managed to win the 1955 Kentucky Oaks. She also won the Beldane Handicap, which we know is a Group 1 these days, and she was second in the Coaching Club American Oaks as well. Third in the Matron Stakes of 1954. Horse on this line has already won that race we saw. You'll see there she's the dam of Never Bend and Bold Reason, bred by Harry F. Guggenheim and owned by T.M. Evans. Designated Ren de Course mare, she sadly died in 1971. Bold Reason, a horse born in 1968, sired by Hail to Reason, out of La Lune. People see that Bold Reason raced 17 times in his career, 7 wins, 4 seconds and 2 thirds, 13 out of 17 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of 304,082 American dollars. Very good horse. Bold Reason, again, another one that went well in the Travers. The horse won the Travers Stakes of 1971. Horse also won the Hollywood Derby, which is probably a Group 1 in those days. We've seen it on this line already. And the horse was also third in the 1971 Kentucky Derby and the 1971 Belmont Stakes. The horse retired after the Travers due to a bad knee. Entered stud in 1972 at Robin's Nest Farm. In 1974, he went to Claiborne. In 1980, he went to Gold Mills Farms, New York, where he sadly died November the 14th, 1985, when it was renamed Samantha Farms. Horse bred by Harry F. Guggenheim. Again, good horse, Bold Reason, placed in 2 classics. And again, through AmericanPedigrees.com, people will see that as a stallion, according to statistics kept by the Jockey Club, Bold Reason side 185 winners and 20 stakes winners from 343 named foals. Peerage of Racehorses credits him with 21 stakes winners. Well, one must have died 1 while in the meantime. But yeah, over 20 stakes winners again, sired by Bold Reason. Never Bend was a horse born in 1960, sired by Nasrullah, champion stallion, out of La Lune. Never Bend raced 23 times in his career, 13 wins, 4 seconds and 4 thirds. 21 out of 23 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of 641,524 US dollars in his career. Very good horse. Never Bend, Group 1 winning 2-year-old, winner of the Champagne Stakes of 1962. Horse also won the Futurity Stakes and the Cowden Stakes, second in the Arlington Washington Futurity, and third in the Sapling Stakes and the Garden State Stakes in the days predating the American pattern, these races. At 3, the horse won the Flamengo Stakes and the Yankee Handicap, and the horse was second in the 1963 Kentucky Derby, second in there what is I think a Group 2 United Nations Handicap, placed in the Woodward as well, I think that's a Group 1 race. Horse was third in the Preakness Stakes and third in the Long Island Handicap. Champion 2-year-old colt of 1962. The horse entered stud in 1964 at Spendthrift Farm before sadly dying in 1977. The horse buried at Spendthrift Farm. This was a top stallion, this. Just as I was starting to get into racing, there's plenty of them about. According to statistics kept by the Jockey Club, Never Bend side 258 winners and 61 stakes winners from 370 named foals. He is a brilliant intermediate chef de race in the Roman Miler dosage system, whatever that means. But yeah, it was a fantastic stakes career. 61 stakes winners sired by Never Bend. Definitely won some very good races. Good site, that is. American Classic Pedigrees seem to fill in the gaps what we normally use JBIS for, and you might see it again in a few more of my videos moving forward. It looks an absolutely superb site, and I encourage anybody to check it out. AmericanPedigrees.com. Very interesting stallions on this line, isn't there? You know, have we got another one here in our horse? Further ado, needs to win some races first, probably. Well, it's won a Group 1 already, you see. You know, we are looking for classic winning horses, not stallions, though, I promise. You know, would like this horse to win some more races. You know, let's look at Blushing KD. This was one that we saw on the historic line. Look, there she is there. Look. So she's on the London section as well. Blushing KD was born in 1994, sired by Blushing John, out of a dam called Lilac Garden, who was born in 1986 and sired by Roberto. Blushing KD raced 10 times in her career and she managed to win 8 of them. 8 out of 10 starts in the first one for career earnings of $918,900 American dollars in her career. Blushing KD, as we know, managed to win the 1997 Kentucky Oaks. She also won the Group 2 Fantasy Stakes and the Group 2 Monmouth Park Breeders' Cup Oaks, as well as the Group 3 Fairground Oaks and the Group 3 Devona Dale Stakes as well. A lot of those races are higher grade than that, I think now, it's fair to say. She also, at 2, won the Princess Futurity as well. She was suddenly euthanised in 2000 following a long battle with a broken ankle and laminitis. Couldn't find any records, sadly, of her foaling any horses. Bred by Foxfield and owned by James and Sue Burns. Excellent classic winning filly of the Kentucky Oaks in 1997. I can bring it a little bit further up to date as well if we go a little bit further back on this line. A couple more Group 1 winners fold in this century. But people need to go back to the horse which would be the 8th dam of our horse, I think. Biddy Big is the name of the horse. And Bloodroot, the 8th dam of our horse, I think, further ado, will take us to these horses here. Jaywalk is the first one, a filly born in 2016, sired by Cross Traffic, out of a dam called Lady Pewit, who was born in 2004 and was sired by Orientate. People go back, you see, classy stamp, the 5th dam of the horse. You'll see that Moulette's, oh no, this one is actually on Bimelette's line as well. Bimelette is the 8th dam of the horse through her daughter, Moulette, who was born in 1957. So, yeah, interesting horse, it's fair to say. Jaywalk, 11 races in her career, 5 wins, a second and a third. 7 out of 11 in the first 3 for career earnings of $1,656,500 US dollars. She was actually the winner of the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies of 2018, and she also won the Group 1 Frisette Stakes as a 2-year-old the same year. At 3, she won the Group 3 Delaware Oaks. She was 2nd in the Group 3 Monmouth Oaks and 3rd in the Group 1 Ashland Stakes. Not quite the same filly, was she, but she did sneak Group 1 place at 3. She was the 2018 champion 2-year-old filly. She was exported to Japan after her racing career. You'll see there's fillies there from Lord Kanaloa and Epiphania somewhere about in Japan. Very interesting horse, Jaywalk, bred by Gainesway Thoroughbreds Limited and owned now by Northern Farms. Very good filly, it's fair to say. This horse is at stud now, Tappet Trice. A horse born in the year 2020, sired by Tappet, out of a dam called Danzatrice, who was foaled in 2012. You'll see there the dam of the last horse, Lady Pewit, is actually the 2nd dam of this horse as well. So very closely related. Tappet Trice raced 13 times in his career, 6 wins and 3 thirds. 9 out of 13 starts in the first 3. Excuse me. For career earnings of $1,873,650 American dollars in his career. Tappet Trice at 3 managed to win the 2023 Bluegrass Stakes, and the horse also won the Group 3 Tampa Bay Derby. The horse was 3rd in a classic, placed in the Belmont, and it was also 3rd in the Travers. Oh, the Woodward's a Group 2 now, is it? The horse won the Group 2 Woodward Stakes of 2024, and the horse added the Group 3 Monmouth Cup to his tally as well. So, yeah, Group 1, Group 2, dual Group 3 winner, placed in the Classic, retired following the 2024 Breeders' Cup, entered stud in 2025 at Gainesway Farm, Kentucky, where he is now. And there's no horses on the ground from him yet, be some 2-year-olds in a couple of years. Horse bred by Gainsway Thoroughbred Limited and now owned by Whisper Hill Farm LLC and Gainsway Stable, Anthony Beck. Interesting line this, I do think. A very interesting horse. Further ado, we can close down the bits on the pedigree now and we can think about watching this horse, Further Ado, win two pattern races, I think, and then we'll think about ending the video. We're gonna ignore the 3 runs he had in maidens to get off the mark. Finally, getting off the mark on the 10th of November 2025 on his 3rd start. We're going to take a look now at his 4th start, which took place on the 29th of November 2025. The Group 2 Jockey Club Kentucky Jockey Club Stakes, a race held at Churchill Downs. As usual, we're going to go through bloodhorse.com for the American replays. They always never let us down, and it saves us typing in the code for it. So without further ado, we'll watch the Group Grade 2 Kentucky Jockey Club Stakes, and we'll see what we think.
Cherokee Nation unsettled, and they're off. And a good start for Further Ado. And so too Soldier and Diplomat and Dr. Kapoor. Cherokee Nation races through toward the inside. Fluffy and Pratt sending him hard. Oh, a bit awkward there for Cherokee Nation. Cherokee Nation steadied off the heels of Dr. Kapoor. Couldn't get to the lead and is now relegated back into 3rd. So it is Dr. Kapoor who leads the way around the opening turn with Soldier and Diplomat keen in 2nd. Cherokee Nation settles nicely inside while 3rd. Further Ado just off them 4th, and it's Spice Runner 5th, 3 lengths back. Universe in 6th, and very connected, the last of them all, as they chase Dr. Kapoor through an opening quarter in a sharp 23 and 1/5 seconds. Pace is solid indeed. Dr. Kapoor leads the way heading to the half-mile pole. Soldier and Diplomat up alongside 2nd. And now Cherokee Nation comes off the rail and floats the big favorite wide. Further Ado is 4 wide on the far turn, but Further Ado is up into 3rd now as they round the far turn. Dr. Kapoor confronted by Soldier and Diplomat. And these two knockheads round the far turn. And now it's 3 across the track as Further Ado sidles up with a 3 wide bid as they hit the top of the stretch. Soldier and Diplomat is off the turn with the lead. Further Ado is now set down for the drive, and these two 1-2 with a furlong to go. Soldier and Diplomat digs in grimly. Further Ado having to work for it, comes up alongside. Farther back, Universe into 3rd, 100 yards to go, and Further Ado has overhauled Soldier and Diplomat. Further Ado does it again, this time by 2. Universe rallied stoutly to get up into 2nd. Then it was either Soldier and Diplomat or Very Connected.
That was a proper battle in the closing stages of that race, wasn't it? And in the end, Further Ado just managed to really see off
top
one
of the
horse
lane of the Kentucky Jockey Club.
while
Soldier
at
and
the same
Diplomat
time
running a big one, staying close to the pacemaking Dr.
quiet. At the first time there, he saw off the horse he was more concerned about, didn't he? And then was nearly susceptible to the fast finisher, wasn't he? But Further Ado, I thought, had more than enough in the tank to, at the end of the race, to land his first pattern race win. It was his 2nd victory in the Group 2 Kentucky Jockey Club Stakes. I thought that was a fair performance. There was a good battle. You always want to see a battle in those races. And it was good to see Further Ado come out on top. I thought the pace was suicidal. You saw the pace there. The pacemaker, Dr. Kapoor, pace setter, or whatever, definitely struggled to get home in that race and labouring a long way from the line. But Further Ado, all they can do is keep winning. And that was his 2nd win in 4 starts and his first Group 2 victory. That was the end of his 2-year-old campaign then, after 4 starts. He then came back this year on the 7th of March 2026, where the horse could finish 2nd behind the Puma, who he opposes in the Kentucky Derby, in the Group 3 Tampa Bay Derby at Tampa Bay. But that didn't deter connections of Further Ado. They were firmly on the Kentucky Derby trail, and they lined up to contest the Group 1 Toyota, other cars are available, Bluegrass Stakes, a race held at Keeneland. on the 4th of April 2026. We will watch that race now, and then we can see what we think.
And they're off in the Toyota Bluegrass Stakes. There's Talkin' with Great White from the inside, and Great White comes forward for the lead. Creole Chrome is there to the far outside of the opening strides, then Talkin' back toward the rail as they head into the first turn. Reagan's Honor is next. Further Ado is wide. 3 lanes off the rail as they head round the first turn in the 5th position. Otinho is now next to last as they travel off the turn and onto the backstretch. Moonstrosity is the early trailer. Great White is the leader. Great White to the inside leads it by just a neck. Creole Chrome tries to draw alongside from second. Further Ado was wide around the first turn, moves up into third, a length and a half off the front pair, 23.6 seconds, the time for the opening quarter. Reagan's Honor, fourth between horses. Talkin' moves up 1 spot to the inside of that one. Then a break of over 5 more lengths to Otinho next to last, and nearly 4 more back of that one. Moonstrosity is the trailer as they reach the midpoint of the backstretch. Creole Chrome to the outside, challenging Great White for the lead. Further Ado still there to the outside, still third by just a neck, and Talkin' fourth back toward the inside. 47.71 seconds the time for the first half mile. Reagan's Honor 5 lengths off the lead in 5th, on to the far turn. Back up front, Creole Chrome has the lead by just a head around the turn. Further Ado is looking for some more running room, swings back up toward the outside and comes after Great White and Creole Chrome. Just over a quarter mile to come. Top of the stretch of the Toyota Bluegrass. Further Ado moving forward to the far outside to take the lead off the far turn. Creole Chrome is now second. Great White drops back third. Talkin' is in fourth. Into the final furlong. It's Further Ado by 5. Further Ado by 6, by 8. We've seen this before. Here he comes to the 16th pole. A magnificent run to win the Grade 1 Toyota Bluegrass. Further Ado, Iran Ortiz Jr. Spendthrift wins the Bluegrass. Otinho did rally up to be second, followed by Talkin' in third, and Creole Chrome fourth, 1 minute 49.59 seconds.
Wow, what can you say about that? I think it's fair to say that that horse has demolished that field, hasn't it? Further Ado has absolutely bolted up in the Group 1 Toyota Blue. Other cars are available. Bluegrass Stakes. I suggest you buy other cars. Don't buy Toyotas. They are rubbish. Bluegrass Stakes, very good race. Doesn't need a sponsor. But a Group 1 winner to go with a Group 2 winner at 2. Toyota haven't paid me to plug their cars. You know, it is what it is. But very impressive performance. The horse powering down the straight. No other horse in the race could live with him. And if this horse was to turn in a performance like that in the Kentucky Derby, then surely this horse would go there with every possible chance, wouldn't he? That was a very impressive performance, I thought, without any shadow of a doubt. Had forced wide early on, came wide around the final bend, and then when the horse entered the straight, he was gone. Absolutely fantastic performance from Further Ado to take his record to 3 victories from 6 races. Entering his 7th race in the Group 1 Kentucky Derby, the Classic. If this horse, definitely this video is warranted. This horse definitely deserves a Classic Watch 26 Possibles video, I would say. And if there is a chance that this horse is going to line up in the Kentucky Derby tomorrow, then I imagine you would see this horse, Further Ado, on classicwatch26.great/site.net. Right, I think I can think about leaving this video here now. Thank you very much to everybody who's taken the time to sit here and watch it with me. I hope you've all enjoyed watching it. I will leave a copy to the Classic Watch 26 Possibles playlist, I think, after this video. That will give everybody an opportunity to look at every single horse in the Classic Watch 26 process at this stage, if you so desire. Maybe this one horse hasn't been enough for you and you want to look at more, then I will give you that opportunity. I will also give you an opportunity to subscribe to the channel moving forward as well. That way, if you do a little bit of work with your YouTube notifications, you can enable YouTube to send you a notification every time I upload a video. and that way you will ensure that you do not miss any of my videos moving forward. You know, that could be very useful for you. You never know. So head over to YouTube, subscribe to the channel, have a little fiddle with the notifications, why don't you, and see what you can do. I would also like to mention my Patreon channel at the end of these videos, Newman Racing on Patreon. Why not head over there as well? See if that's for you. You never know, it just might be. But for now, I think I can think about leaving this video. We're less than 2 or 3 hours away now from the first classic of the weekend, the Kentucky Oaks of 2026. Sadly, no Classic Watch 26 representation this year, due sadly to Bella Ballerina being a non-runner today, sadly. It is what it is sometimes. Still plenty more classic action to come. We've got the South Australian Derby overnight at Morphettville in South Australia. We've got the UK 1,000, 2,000 guineas coming up over the weekend as well, as arguably the biggest race in the American horse racing season, the Kentucky Derby that takes place tomorrow night. But for now, I'm going to think about leaving this video here. Take care, everybody. I hope you've all had a fantastic week. Enjoy the upcoming weekend. Whatever you're doing, make sure you have fun and enjoyment. Look after yourselves. Take care of yourselves and your loved ones at every opportunity. I hope to be back at some point to look at some more horses in due course, maybe even get round to reviewing a few races. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? We're getting a bit of a review backlog going on in both classics and national hunt racing. But that's what it is. Hopefully I'll be back at some point to discuss some horses. But for now, I will bid you a fond farewell. Take care, everybody, and goodbye.